So this is a video about why you probably don't need to store that new sports car for the winter, and we'll use this latest version of the BMW Z4 Roadster to help demonstrate that much of the hardware and features and systems that make modern sports cars so fun to drive also make them so good to use in the snow. We'll also be seeing from the Kia Stinger, Mazda MX-5, Porsche Cayman, and a few others as well. Now, sports cars are usually fairly pricey, so storing yours for several months of the year reduces your enjoyment or literally takes away from your return on investment. And while countless sports car owners enjoy their machines year-round, there are plenty of folks not sure if they should. And if you're one of them, well, this video is for you. So let's start by looking at the BMW Z4, the latest version of this two-seat roadster, and as you see it here, powered by none other than a 3-liter straight-six turbo, good for 382 horsepower in this hot rod M40i version. You also get an 8-speed paddle shift transmission, rear-wheel drive, and of course top optional cruising if you like. So a light, fast rear-wheel drive rocket, hardly the most confident or comfortable way to get around on snow and ice, right? Well, actually not so much. I'm perfectly comfortable, actually. Two-seat roadsters like this tend to keep you toasty warm if you've got the top down even to about -5 or maybe -10 degrees if you've got your big coat on. You'll get funny looks, but fact is, in motion there's a sort of aerodynamic bubble that helps keep the warm air in the car, so even on a chilly day, just blast the heat, ditch the roof, and you'll do just fine. Some folks are also concerned a car like this might be too light in the tail. Also not the case. Just like most modern sports cars, it's about 50-50 where weight distribution is concerned, meaning that the rear is just as heavy as the front, unlike, say, your favorite pickup truck. Now that's an engineering target that's designed to help enable more thrilling moves and capability with the speeds dialed up on, say, a racetrack when the pavement is warm and dry. But in the snow, that same perfect balance makes the car feel more stable than you probably think, and especially for those drivers with some prior winter driving experience in something light and sporty. There are electronics to help you stay in control too. Stability control, which not only helps to arrest unwanted skids, but can actually help to prevent them from taking place at all. Now, if you're being an idiot, you'll still wind up in the ditch. The laws of physics are fully in effect, but with your careful driving, the stability control system works to help you maintain full control over the vehicle at all times. Traction control as well, and this deals with how much wheel spin is allowed when you're accelerating in basically a straight line. You can typically turn the level of traction control up or down, on or off to taste, from fully on, that is as little wheel spin allowed as possible, to fully off, which is winter drift mode, where you can spin the wheels as much as you like. You might also use that to get unstuck if you go into a snowbank. And in the past decade or so, those systems have gotten much better. They're faster acting, they're more effective, they're less intrusive, and almost totally seamless, provided the driver keeps their safe winter driving practices in mind. Add in drive modes that further fine-tune things like steering feel and throttle response, and you can really dial in the exact feel and personality that you'd like from your vehicle with a couple of button presses. And in a car with the latest version of these systems and technologies like this Z4, the difference in how the car feels between each mode is dramatic. I liked comfort mode and all controls left on for maximum peace of mind and sure-footedness when it was really slippery. Here the car feels locked down and exhibits almost no tolerance for slipping or spinning. That's to say, it's safe and sure-footed. Imagine the way that you walk when you suddenly encounter glare ice. This sort of programs the car to drive like that. Or, when faced with a slippery back road and the desire for a bit of fun, you can set the drive mode and assists to their sport setting, and you've got a car that's highly responsive and one that's easier to steer with the throttle or brakes if you like, and with heaps of low-end torque always within striking distance. Well, she'll spin and slide for days if that's your game, and God, what a sound. So, whether the snow and ice make you want to take it easy or grab the crazy carpet, you're well set up. Many cars like the Z4 relegate all of those controls to a control array or panel, usually down here, for easy access to the precise settings that you like. Add a button press or just assign your preferred array of settings to a personalized custom mode that you can call up anytime you like. This is all sort of a gift from the car's engineers, the ability to dial in the exact feel that you prefer in any condition, and the ability to toggle the car's personality on the fly to best suit your needs. Sport mode, traction control off for power sliding in a Kia Stinger or BMW 850. Or comfort mode with all controls left on if you're out and about in an ice storm with a Z4 or Cayman, both of which are, by the way, rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive as many Canadians prefer. Just remember, us Canadians got around just fine in the snow before all-wheel drive or stability control ever came along. And all said, I had few problems getting this tester around even after a decent spell of freezing rain and other nasty winter weather. Two reasons why. First, the M Sports differential with active differential lock. Many cars like this have some sort of trick rear diff that mechanically binds the rear wheels together when it's slippery, meaning that both rear wheels always participate in getting the car moving, rather than the open differential, or let's call it unlimited slip differential, you'll find in lesser vehicles. And with a locking rear end, the off-the-line bite on slippery stuff is better than you think, especially for a car that's fairly light. In the sportiest driving, the limited slip diff helps drivers get power to the road or track more aggressively, power out of corners earlier, and keeps things more stable in the process. In the winter, the same deal. So all said, all-wheel drive is better off the line, but you'll do just fine with two, and that locking diff helping out. And the second reason, which is even more important, is that all the vehicles you're seeing here are on winter tires, which are crucial if you'll be driving in these sorts of conditions. With appropriate rubber, you're giving the traction-enhancing electronics, as well as the limited slip diff and all-wheel drive, if applicable, more grip to work with, so they can do a much better job. The point is, all-wheel drive will get you more places more confidently, but rear-wheel drive is totally doable on most winter days too. If you've never driven a sports car in the snow, or if it's been a while, I'll finish with two more observations that come from years of driving all sorts of them in and around Northern Ontario that I hope you'll find useful. So first relates to the handling, steering, and overall feel. Remember that a sports car is typically designed to give you an elevated sense of what's happening between the tires and the road. It's all about feedback and knowing what your car is up to at all times, which can help drivers make better decisions when the going gets greasy. In the best sports cars, you can feel black ice, slush ruts, and other changes in traction right through the wheel. The car is feeding useful information to your fingers, helping you feel what to do and what not to, and basically helping you learn the best way to drive it for the conditions. Translation, you can expect to feel very well backed up. And second, because a sports car is typically designed to be as light as possible and feel even lighter, there's little of that overly confident feel or false sense of security on slippery roads that can come from driving something bigger and heavier. And while most of us prefer to drive something bigger and heavier in the colder months, there are still those who prefer something more nimble, lighter, more responsive, and more communicative. And for those folks, many a modern sports car will do just fine in winter with quality tires and with your careful driving. Thanks for watching.